Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, the United Road. And Monday night, I was thinking basically that I will start in the afternoon, but I was like, all right, Monday afternoon, people at work, and at by the time it's night, they will be rejuvenated in terms of if they want to talk about football again. So we will be doing the preview of game week 6, obviously. Sorry, the preview. Sorry, the review. My bad. And obviously the preview of the Champions League. We will be talking about it tomorrow as well, but today itself as well. And you all know, guys, from the banner you can already see. So we will be joined by Sebastian today from a new city. So basically, he's roaming around at this point of time all over the world. So Sebastian, welcome to the stream.
How are we doing, guys? All right. Hope everybody's well. Nice to beat Arsenal, wasn't it? I think they're still moaning about the. They're still moaning about the VAR.
They can moan about whatever they want, but that was a clear foul. It was not like if you're getting a bit of the ball, if you are getting, if it's shoulder to shoulder, it's fine. It's not a foul. But you are basically, tangling that guy, by your feet, and then you are getting the ball. So yeah, they can keep crying. As Kino said, Arteta is a sore loser. We all know that. Majority of the Arsenal people are. So Sebastian, here after a very long time, it's been almost a month. Last time we were talking about Sebastian, last time we were together, it was 4-0 Brentford to United. How has things changed in the last almost 3 weeks? Like, how do you feel at this point of time?
Oh, thank God they have changed, honestly. Thankfully, honestly. I just think the team came together. I think Ten Hag put them through their paces. I think that getting them back in the day after the Brentford game, making them run, I think that was key. And I think as well, we've got characters now for the first time in a long time. We've got real characters. You've only got to look at the defence, Malacia, Martinez. Even Eriksen, when you listen to him in interviews, he's a good character. So I think that's really, really important. I think it's just finally clicked, hasn't it? I think, all the players that were causing the problems, a lot of them have left now. So I think we managed to get a lot of players out in the end, which was good. So yeah, it's just all come together, but I think we just need to keep that momentum going. And I always say as well, if you can start getting clean sheets, that's the way forward, isn't it? Once you have a solid back four, you can start to push on then. So yeah,
that was the problem. That was the problem which we were facing. The biggest problem was even after seeing that Maguire and Shaw are basically not improving, we kept on playing them. And after 2 games, it was like, we are done. Like, the manager was like, I am done.
Yeah, that's it. I think I'm glad yesterday that he chucked Anthony straight in because I think that was needed. We can't afford to waste time. I think if that was Alanga yesterday, it's a different angle and it probably doesn't go in. So having somebody like Anthony, I think it gives us a whole new dimension. I was really pleased to see him start. I thought he did well on his debut. I think he showed confidence. He got the crowd going as well with his tricks. So I think that was good. That's important as well. I think the Old Trafford crowd, if there's 2 things that they love, it's Martinez crunching into people, and then it's the Brazilian flair from Anthony. So I think that's really, really important as well.
All right. So people are talking about Garner's, post at this point of time. We will be looking at Garner's post as well. We will talk about this. We will talk about this, Sebastian. Letting Garner go for a mere like 9 million with the add-ons, it's like 15 million. What do you think about that move, basically?
Difficult. I mean, if he's not going to play, then it's ultimately, if Ten Hag doesn't fancy him, then it's better to get him out and get some money.
Yeah.
But it's a shame because obviously, he didn't really ever have a chance, did he? He seemed like a good player, a good character. So it would have been nice to see him in the Europa League. I thought he was going to play in the Europa League, but it's interesting because I think Garner and Hannibal, we probably thought were going to play in the Europa League, but then one of them's left and Hannibal's gone out on loan, and it looks like it might well be Savić and Zidane Iqbal playing. So it's going to be interesting to see. But no, on the Garner deal, it's one of them. I think if he starts playing well at Everton in a couple of years, we'll probably sign him back because we're quite good at doing that.
All right, so we will take some comments, Sebastian. Garner's post, we will have a look at it. Sir Alex is saying basically, I said I will be back when good football is back, and here I am. Welcome back. Rahul is saying the fact is United took their chances till the game, Arsenal did not. That's what the game of football is, isn't it, Sebastian? You take your chances.
Exactly. I mean, Arsenal, yeah, they played okay in the first half, and in the second half, for 15 minutes, they battered us. But ultimately, once it went to 1-1, they got complacent and they thought that they could just, dominate the game, and we did them on the counter, didn't we? And football, it's not about 15 minutes in a game; it's about the whole game. And
Exactly.
we didn't switch off, and they did, and ultimately, that's how we got our goals.
Exactly. So, Mazza, welcome. Mazza, he was there at Old Trafford for the game. Brilliant. Last time he was there, we lost. It was like the opening game of the season. So we lost. So yeah, a good comeback from Mazza as well. Imitra, welcome. I told my yes, I was insecure about my height. So banter will keep on going. At Twisted Fate, welcome to the stream. Ali, welcome to the stream, guys. Whoever is joining in, thanks a lot. Pulkit is saying ETH coaching counter-attacking football, not what. Pulkit, the thing is, at this point of time, we don't have the personnel who can play ETH style of football. For the first thing that ETH does, he plays from the back. We don't have a keeper who can play from the back. So that's the biggest problem at this point of time. If he tries to play from the back, I don't think we are going to succeed. I don't think we are going to succeed. So what do you think, Sebastian? I think this is a point, but then the manager understood very clearly that we have to switch to plan B because playing from the back is not working at all.
Yeah, I think the problem, where the problem is going to come is the home games against the smaller teams, because that's where we can't really play counter-attack against those teams because the crowd won't allow it. We'll have to dominate those games. So I do think we've got the players. I think we've got enough players, for example, when we're at home against the smaller teams to dominate. I think Eriksen and Bruno can do that. I think now that we've got Antony and Sancho as well, they're more composed around the box. So, they'll be able to take their chances. I think it's interesting when you look at Rashford, because he's a player who is really good for the big games on the counter attack, but maybe in the home games when he has too much time to think, he's not a sort of really good finisher, is he? So I think we'll see Ronaldo playing in some of the home games against the weaker teams, and I think we'll see Eriksen dictating the games as well. I think Eriksen will start to run the games. So I think Ten Hag will start to play that way, but at the moment, you've just got to win. When you're trying to build momentum, it's all about winning, isn't it? And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, so people who don't understand how basically things work with Glazers is they have put billions, but they have not put at the right place. They have appointed clowns. So it's not about backing the manager. This should have been done 1 month back, not after losing the games, first two games basically getting thrashed. So millions and billions, it's been pumped in. But at the wrong places. This window, we can genuinely say that the manager has been back. Even though it's late, the manager has got all the players that he wanted. So this season we can say, yeah, he has been back. But in the previous seasons, we have seen it was all clown decisions. All clown decisions. Whether it was Matt Judge, whether it was Woodward, whoever it was. Simple as that. Yeah, this season, Pulkit, that's what I'm saying. This season, no one can say that the manager has not been back. This season, he has been back. But yeah, it should have been done, Sebastian, I think a month ago.
Yeah, I think the Antony deal was a strange one, isn't it? Why it took, obviously, we didn't want to pay what they wanted. But yeah, I'd have liked to have got Antony done at the start of the window. But I guess, look, it's in the past now. There's nothing we can do to change it. I think the only target he didn't get who he wanted was De Jong. But I think that's actually a good thing, because I can't imagine De Jong playing. I can't imagine it being De Jong, Eriksen and Bruno. I just don't think that would have worked. We needed like a Casemiro type player to come in. We needed a real defensive midfielder. So, yeah, I think the manager's definitely been backed in that sense. It's just we're overpaying again for players, aren't we? That's the only bad thing. And obviously the time that it takes. But ultimately, yeah, we've got some improvements. At least we've got a team this year that we can say at least they are trying. We know that they're actually going out there with the effort.
Yeah, that's the thing at this point of time. Someone from Dubai, yeah, this news has come up at this point of time, Sebastian, that 3.75 billion, that's what the price quoted by Glazers, and Dubai is interested. So basically we have Abu Dhabi, we have Qatar, we have Saudi Arabia. So now Dubai is getting interested. So what are your thoughts on this, Sebastian?
The problem is with the owners now is there's so much hypocrisy, because we've had Abramovich, we've got the Sheikh Mansour at City. You've had the Newcastle owner, PSG's owner. There's so much hypocrisy as to what is a good owner now. Even the Glazers, they should have never been allowed to take over Manchester United. So
Exactly.
it's very difficult, isn't it, to find a good owner who's going to do things the right way and also back you in the transfer market as well, because all owners are going to try to make a little bit of money themselves. So it's difficult. I mean, for me, that's all I want. I just think they should change the way that owners, get chosen. I think there should be some sort of test to check that they are in it for the right reasons, because I wouldn't want Man United to be bought by the wrong type of people again, and have the same situation as we've had with the Glazers. I'd rather it for somebody like Jim Ratcliffe, for example, who's at least seemingly got better intentions,
Exactly. And this is a question that is coming a lot often, Sebastian. What
Yeah.
amount will be ideal rotation in UAL? Given the match is toughest among others, I say a few here and there. I think we will see at least 7-8 changes. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think we should change a lot. Yeah, I'd change the
Yeah.
goalkeeper. Just give De Gea a rest. Give him a mentally a rest. I'd change all the back four as well, because I think that they're playing so well in the league. We should keep them fit for the Palace games. So just give them all a rest. Bring in Luke Shaw, bring in Maguire, bring in. I don't know if Lindelof's fit, but maybe potentially bring him in. Wan-Bissaka, and then one or two youngsters as well. You could play maybe Garnacho, one of Zidane or Savić. Get all these players involved. And then you can have some experience around them as well. Players who haven't been featuring. If Donny's going to be fit, you could get him involved. So I think Ronaldo needs to play as well. Ronaldo needs some confidence. He needs a
Exactly.
goal. So I think it'd be nice to see Ronaldo and Garnacho playing together, wouldn't it? You could have Garnacho on the left, Ronaldo down the middle, and then you've got a nice mixture of experience and youth players. I think that would be sensible.
Yeah, I usually talk about the team, like a day before. Like we can talk about it today, we can talk about it tomorrow. Some other way is saying that Garnacho is loading boys. I think he should start on the left. I think Anthony should start on the right, and
Mm.
Ronaldo should start in the middle. The entire midfield you can change. Casemiro and Fred should be there. And in the back, Dubravka should get a start. And likes of Matt. You can play basically a Martinez, but you cannot risk a Varane. If you want to play, just go along with both the guys. Lindelof and Maguire. Because then you will have a midfield in front. Midfield in front. So I think we are definitely making like 7-8 changes minimum. It might be the entire 11 that might be changed. You never know at this point of time, Sebastian. So
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They all need minutes, don't they? Fred, Casemiro, they need minutes. Ronaldo. So that's where I think we can have a good balance of youth and experience as well. So I think the Europa League. Obviously, we want to be in the Champions League, but at the same time, the Europa League is a good chance to play some youngsters. So it's good for that at least.
exactly. And if we combine the amount of money we gave to Ajax is brilliant buy. I think it should have been done in a very, very cheaper price than that. But in the end we end up paying, so it's fine. We cannot do anything else. We should be UEL favorites. I think alongside Arsenal we will be there. We will be there.
Yeah,
So
I suppose you've got to remember that either one of, is it Barcelona, Inter Milan, or Bayern Munich? Are they in the same group? So one of them's going to come
yeah,
straight in. One of them's going to come straight into the Europa League, aren't they? So it's not going to be
exactly.
easy. Like, there'll be some strong teams in there this year.
Yeah, Sebastian, this question, we are talking about Dalot's defensive skill improving a lot in the previous games. Even after being on yellow, at least getting the job done, he's doing absolutely brilliant. So what do you think about Dalot?
Yeah, what I like about Delort is his character's definitely there. You see him the way that he celebrated sort of against Leicester
Exactly.
when the ball went out for a goal kick. And I like that. That's what I want to see. You see characters there. That's good from Delort. And I think he started to be braver as well. I think Ten Hag's encouraging him, because Delort is a beast. When he actually uses his strength, he's very, very strong. So I think he needs to keep doing that, keep pushing forward, push people out the way. That's what he's good at. When we first bought him, that was what we thought he was going to be, like a really strong, powerful right back. So I think he's using that to help him defend and to attack, because he's ultimately all Delort what Delort was missing was the aggression, and now he's using that aggression to go up the pitch, and he's also using it defensively. So yeah, I'm really pleased for Delort, because I think it's very hard to do everything in one window, and we needed Ten Hag to improve one of our players. We needed him to improve Delort, McTominay. these types of players, Rashford, because it was never going to be, we were never going to sign, a whole new team. So it's really important that players like Delort, McTominay and Rashford improve.
Exactly. We will get to this line first of all, Sebastian. I will, guys, as I said, I will take everyone's comment. So just have patience for a while. You are a date on day one. Peter Drury at his absolutely freaking best. Absolutely freaking best. Now he's not with Sky. So obviously, we are not getting to hear, Peter Drury in India. But we are basically waiting for whenever a goal is scored by a United player. We are basically looking for looking for all over Twitter or Insta to get what he is saying. So what do you think about this man, poet, magician? When he's basically commentating in a game. So.
Well, I think anyone's better than Gary Neville because Gary Neville for me just gets so emotional. So yeah, no, I like him. There's a lot of good commentators out there. I think it's some of them are a bit boring, some of them are good, but yeah, I don't know. I think obviously Martin Tyler was famous for the whole Aguero moment, wasn't he? So that was obviously one that always stands out. But yeah, I think you like the certain ones who you heard when you were growing up as a kid, you like, don't you? They're the commentators that you like. But for Gary Neville in particular, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he gets a bit too dramatic either way, Like he's just one of them.
Who is not biased when it comes to Panditri? When it comes to Carragher, he's always sucking Liverpool. When it comes to Owen, he's always sucking Liverpool. Sound is always sucking Liverpool. Everyone has their favorites. It's just the Liverpool, ex-Liverpool players at this point of time. They are so many in the media at this point of time. Either this Panditri, or either as a commentator. So that's why, they are very much visible at this point of time. Gary Neville, when it comes to Gary Neville, obviously being a United player, former United player, he is biased. That shows. But when you look at Neville, when you look at other guys, they are very, very biased as well. Very, very biased as well. So.
Yeah, the worst one was Niall Quinn. I remember when we played Man City, and it was the game where Company scored. I think he beat Smalling in the air for a header. I think they won 1-0, and it was a really important game. And I remember Niall Quinn was commentating, and it was horrendous because Mancini and Ferguson were going at it on the touchline. They were properly going at it, and yeah, that was really not a good commentator. I remember him being really, really biased at one time, but. Yeah, I think what you want is the truth, isn't it? Because I think it's good to, if your team's playing bad, you should say it, shouldn't you? So I think that's what I was saying about Arsenal yesterday. If I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be looking at the ref. I'd be looking at my team. Why did they allow Rashford to get through so easily?
Exactly. Now this is the point that everyone make at this point of time. Michael Owen not even worth. The points he makes absolute nonsense. Like my younger sister has got more valid points than Michael Owen on TV. So, Vishal, welcome to the stream. By everyone puts pressure. The thing is, when you look at Chelsea, they don't have many ex-players, at this point of time in the in the media houses. Simple as that. Simple as that. When it comes to Liverpool, United, even Arsenal, they have so many ex-social media, ex-players who are either as a pundit, working as a pundit, or they're either working as a, commentator. So obviously they put pressure. They put pressure because they also have their favorites. They want to talk about them as well. And I have missed out a comment on Twisted Fate. I will talk about this. One great thing from Arsenal, Anthony scored. So this was the point that was being made, Sebastian, that he won't track back. He is not someone who likes to get back. And we have seen Anthony supporting Dalot straight away.
Yeah, that's really important, isn't it? I think ultimately in the modern game, you need to be able to work like that, and Anthony's got that. I think Anthony showed a lot on his debut. I mean, I like the way he had like a practice. It was almost like a practice shot, the one which went over the bar. I like that because it means that he's sort of warming up. He's getting ready. I remember when I used to watch Iron Robin a lot. He's one of my favourite players. He was one of those players who'd cut in on his left foot and he'd have a few like shots, maybe one or two would go over the bar, but then you knew that he was warming up and one was going to go in the top corner sooner or later. And I think Anthony's a bit like that. I think he's one of those players he backs himself. He's not afraid to shoot, and that's a good thing, because Sancho's probably not like a natural player to shoot from outside the box, is he? You know, so it's good that we've got that option. I really think it was so important that we got a left-footed right winger. So yeah, I think Anthony's only going to get better and better. You know, he's fighting for his spot for Brazil as well, so he's going to be hungry to get in the Brazilian team. So no, I think it's a fantastic signing. I'm not worried about Anthony at all.
Exactly. And Cricket Lover says Martinez proves height does not matter. Gameplay matters definitely. I have been very skeptical when it comes to his height. I have said that before. He was bullied, but he has somehow got out of that zone, and he's basically winning everything in the air. So that's great to see. When he is saying Chelsea has won and he's about to get relegated. Which of the manager gets sacked first, Sebastian? Lampard or Gerrard?
From Lampard or Gerrard? Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't know actually. That's a difficult one. I mean, you probably say Gerrard, wouldn't you, because of where Villa are? But I mean, in the whole Premier League, Rodgers has got to go, isn't he? Rodgers is going to go soon. But yeah, Lampard or Gerrard is a difficult one. I don't rate Lampard as a manager. I don't see what he's trying to do. When you look at Graham Potter, he's such you know exactly what he's trying to do with his team. But when you look at Lampard and Gerrard, they're a little bit flip floppy, aren't they? They change their lineups a lot. So yeah, I don't particularly rate either of them as managers so far. But they are young, and they're only going to improve, aren't they? But probably Gerrard because of where they are in the league.
All right. So somebody is saying game management of United needs improvement, don't you think? I think, it needs a lot of improvement. It's the first thing that we have to keep an eye on. Because now these guys are, the same playing 11. They have basically played the entire, last 5 games, last 4 or 5 games. Almost the same team. Apart from 2 guys, it's almost the same team. So now it's high time that we make sure that they are not getting injured by playing a lot. So as we talked about, Sebastian, change the entire team if we have to. Keep them fresh for Crystal Palace. Don't risk any injury. The likes of Eriksen, you cannot afford to get injured at this point of time. So, and we have talked about Eriksen. Summer signing, free signing, what a signing.
Yeah. I think it's a really good point, though, about the game management because against Southampton, when we scored, we let them back in the game, didn't we? And it, we gave them that chance. And I think we do need to manage, after we score a goal, manage the next 10 minutes a little bit better. Because it was similar with Leicester as well. In that second half, Leicester, we battered them in the first half. We should have been like 3-0 up. In the second half, we let Leicester come back into the game. And obviously we did a little bit yesterday with Arsenal. I know that, we're getting results, so that's okay. But you just need to be a little bit careful with that. I think we just need to keep the ball a little bit better. And again, it's probably in the midfield at times, just try to keep it a little bit better, composed, don't just kick it. Sometimes McTominay, he still has that, he still just sort of kicks it, doesn't he, to no man's land. And I think that's where we need to be a little bit more composed. But I think it will come. I think it will, just needs time, doesn't it? But yeah, Eriksen, fantastic signing. Absolutely brilliant. He's such a good character as well. I mean,
Alison is saying, Sorry, Sebastian. Rashford is back. We are talking about the players that we thought they would improve under eriktenhag. Sancho has shown signs. Rashford, last game, absolutely at his, we can say at his very best, like with the runs, Obviously, we don't expect Rashford to hold up the ball, but with his runs, he was absolutely a menace for the entire Arsenal team.
Yeah, definitely. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant yesterday. I think with Rashford as well, while he's getting assists and goals, you can't take him out of the team, can you? He's got to stay in it at the minute.
Exactly. And we are talking about McTominay as well. Danish Bhai is asking, is he the most improved player in the entire 11? According to you, Sebastian. For me, definitely yes. What do you think about that?
Difficult. I mean, you could say that Dalot, Rashford and McTominay, all 3 of them have improved. Maybe McTominay because he had quite a low ceiling, so maybe he's improved the most. But yeah, the good thing is that the attitude's there, because with Rashford, all it is his attitude. He's always had the pace. He's always had a good attributes. When you look at Rashford, he's got a lot of good attributes. It's just the mental thing, wasn't it? So I think with McTominay as well, where he just became a bit of a joke with him and Fred playing together, I think it helps him when he plays alone because he knows his responsibility. He knows that it's him and he's got to do that job. I think when he plays with Fred, I just don't think it works
Exactly. Can't believe it took so many years, but finally we have a left-footed right winger. Yes, Rudesh, right? Thanks a lot for joining in. And yes, finally, after like zillions of years,
Yeah,
we finally have one who can basically, which gives us a totally different dimension.
yeah. He's so
And
young as
moving on.
well, isn't he? 22 years
Yeah,
old.
exactly. Young, and he will, if you can just keep on performing, you are here for a long time,
Yeah.
So Lampard is so bad as a coach. Ole and Lampard, they have no comparison at all. Simple as that. Simple as that. You know, Everton should hire only proper mid-table manager. Absolute rubbish statement, but yeah, whatever you have to say. Finishing second and third is mid-table, so let's see. You know, if like after spending almost 250 million, only if Lampard could have finished second. Sebastian, that would have been a great achievement for Lampard.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've never. I think Lampard, he makes the same mistakes. I remember when he was at Chelsea, he made it too clear that he loved Mason Mount, and I think he just
Yeah,
rubbed everybody up the wrong way. And then he fell out with all the senior pros as well, didn't he? He fell out with Rudiger and all
Rudiger.
those players. And then they went and won the Champions League when he left, so they can't have been that bad.
Exactly. That's what the thing with Chelsea. We always know they have a team. It's just about the proper guidance at times. They will always have the one of the best teams. 200 million spent in the window, so many players brought in, and he goes out and they win the Champions League. So, best thing Anthony and Dalot have good understanding. This is the best thing. Understanding. And there was a report today. Sebastian, that says basically Dalot is communicating in Spanish with Martinez and Varane, and he is communicating in Portuguese, with other guys, and basically he's communicating in English with McTominay.
Well, it's good. Yeah, it's nice that a football player can speak multiple languages. It's good,
Yeah,
I think they should be able to, shouldn't they? They've got enough free time to learn, so yeah, that's a good thing for sure. Yeah, those things are important sometimes. They can help, can't
yeah.
they?
Twisted Fate is saying Dalot most improved for me. Okay. Savić says no, Rashford is not back. Remove pace. Yeah. So by that logic, you know, remove the goals from Ronaldo and he won't be the greatest of all time. What is this logic? Remove pace and he is nothing. So that's anything to say. Remove pace and he is nothing. Yeah, remove goals from Ronaldo and then see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to wait. Yeah, I mean, when Rashford's 31, we can have that conversation. But now, I mean, he's still got his pace, so yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know what Rashford is all about. Certain players have certain traits. Simple as that. Certain players have certain traits. It's like saying, oh, take the hands from the hair and he won't make any saves. Take the reflections from the hair and he won't make any saves. So I think at this point of time, if you are saying that take the pace away, who is going to take his pace away?
Maybe it's Pogba with his witchcraft. Maybe he's going to take Rashford's pace away.
The witchcraft story keeps on getting better, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Vishal, I think this anyone. Yeah, I saw the troops video. He was showing you his corners to us, and in the next 5 minutes, all that happiness went into the mud. So that's typical Arsenal fans. Sanjay Bhai saying ETH is a beast, best technical genius. He knows how to use Rash and Bruno for pressing. Exactly. That's the thing we have. We are going to get from him. It's not like he is going to give you 30 goals in a season. It's not going to happen. He's not that proficient or prolific striker at this point of time. But he can cause menace. He can create the space, just like he did for Bruno in the Leicester game. Even in the Arsenal game, he was constantly making those runs. When Ronaldo got in, he was running behind Ronaldo. Or he was just dropping a bit deeper and letting Ronaldo just press because he was fresh. So he adds a different layer. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think it's clear, isn't it, already that he's got them working a lot better. I think that's a nice thing now, isn't it? It's nice to have proper coach, because you can see he's one of those people, Ten Hag, that he has all the finer details. He's going to get the very, very best from the team. So yeah, it's nice because obviously under Ollie and Rangnick, they were not top class coaches, were they? I mean, Ollie was okay at man management at times. Rangnick is probably more of a scout, but I think with people like Ten Hag, you can see he's just one of those people he really loves to coach. So I think it's important. I think he's going to make players a lot better.
Exactly. Anjul bhai, thanks a lot for joining in. Guys, before the season, I predicted 30 goals from Rashford and Sancho. 6 games in, we already have 5 goals from them. Okay, combined. So I talked about how they are going to give us 30 goals throughout the season if they are fit enough. So we already have 5. Sebastian, do you think they can give us 30 goals throughout the season?
Oof. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't. There's enough games, isn't there? Yeah. I mean, there's enough games for that to happen. But yeah, I mean, if Rashford's going to play as a striker, then he's got every chance. And Sancho's already showing a lot better form than last year. So there's a chance of that, definitely. I mean, we've seen it before, haven't we, with Rashford and Martial when they were playing like that a few years ago. So yeah, there's every chance. I think it's important that everybody chips in this season. I think that's been nice as well this year with the goals. You know, lots of different players have already chipped in with goals, so that's good to see.
Now, this as Datta Bhai said as well, Eriksen is doing everything that fans wanted from Pogba, and that too as a free transfer. You know, I think we have struck gold when it comes to Eriksen. That's why I wanted that signing very badly. You know, that if you are getting a player of that caliber for free, even if he's just going to warm the bench, you know, but now he's like a starter. He's like a starter, and who's going to replace him? No one. You know, the way he has started the season, at this point of time, who's going to, you know, bench him? Not Fred, not Donny. He's going to keep starting.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good link up with Ronaldo as well. Once Ronaldo gets in the team and starts playing, I think Eriksen could put in some good crosses for him. So yeah, I'm really happy with Eriksen.
Okay, Christian Fred is saying, please talk about Ronaldo's presence. Teams push defense high because he's dangerous in the box, but he doesn't press as much as anyone, which then allows his boss to dash it. See, when it comes to Ronaldo, when he is, you know, interested in playing, we have seen when he came against Leicester, he was interested in playing. You know, when he came yesterday, he was interested in playing. You know, he was making those runs, he was going for the press. In the earlier games, it was not there. So he will be starting. Without Martial, obviously with Rashford, you know, it's not going to happen that Rashford is going on a 25-game run. If that happens, then great. Otherwise, Ronaldo will be playing games. But yeah, Ronaldo at this point of time, he understands that his role is limited at this point of time. Sebastian.
Yeah, I think the thing is with Ronaldo under Ten Hag, as I've said before, Ten Hag worked with Sebastian Haller, who was a really, you know, he's a really lazy player, to be honest, when he played in the Premier League. So, and he got the best out of him. I know it's a different league, but he obviously doesn't mind having a sort of slow striker in his system. So I think Ronaldo can still play a part this season. I think against Brighton, when we brought on Ronaldo, when we had the ball in the second half and we were going for the goal, I think if we can play like that against the smaller teams at home, I would start Ronaldo because he will put those chances away. And we don't need him to work hard when we have the ball. You know, when we have the ball at home to Bournemouth, we don't need Ronaldo to be pressing. So I think in those games, that's where Ronaldo can definitely start. But yeah, in games like yesterday, realistically, it's much better starting Rashford, isn't it? Because you know the threat that he has in behind. So yeah, I think it's just picking and choosing the right games for Ronaldo. I think that's the key point with that.
How do you rate Ronaldo's performance? Definitely 8 out of 10. You know, I would even give him 8.5 out of 10. The way he played, you know, he created chances for Bruno. Bruno could not score, but he was absolutely on fire since his arrival. You know, what do you think, Sebastian? Last game.
For Ronaldo, last game, yeah, decent. Nothing special. I think he was shouting a lot, wasn't he, at the other players? So nothing special, but he was okay. Nothing special for me.
Exactly. Amit Bhai is saying, Amit Bhai, welcome to the stream. Sorry, Smith Bhai, welcome to the stream. Can definitely challenge for, I think we should definitely go for at least one of those trophies.
Yeah, I think the FA Cup, I'd love to see us win the FA Cup. You know, I love that competition. I still honestly, you know, just watching the FA Cup, there's something so special about it. I hate it when I hear people saying that, oh, it's not as important as it once was. To me, it is. You know, I really want Man United to win the FA Cup. The last time we won it was such a good feeling. So, yeah, and I think as well, if you target the Carabao Cup, it's always good because Ferguson used to do that. It used to help us go on and win leagues. So, yeah, any trophy is important. I think the Europa League would be the one that I wouldn't be too fussed about. I think it's better to sort out getting top four via the league, and Europa League, I'd just play the youngsters.
Exactly. So people are talking about how Varane does his job silently, and obviously when it comes to Ronaldo, he cannot play 90, and that's understandable. Fans need to understand that. You cannot just keep on saying these guys will play all the games. So in the meanwhile, Celia is saying love FA Cup. I think you know I think people underestimate this competition. Sebastian, when we look at people talking about FA Cup, this is one of the basically not one of the basically the oldest competition in the world.
Yeah.
So obviously it so much significance. We are basically the joint most title when it comes to FA Cup with Arsenal 12 times, or Arsenal has got like 13 times, something like that.
Yeah.
So
I
I
just
think FA
it's
Cup,
so
yeah.
special. Sorry, it's so special. It really is. I think when you watch like the little teams, I remember us playing Millwall in a cup final years ago. When I think when we had a young Ronaldo and we beat Millwall in the final. It's just games like that. When you get to see the little teams, coming through like that. It's fantastic. I think it gives those teams some opportunity as well. The revenue that they get from those games. But no, there's just something really special when I'm living in England and I wake up on a Saturday morning. The FA Cup, it's really the best. Yeah, it's the best thing ever. Just seeing those little teams playing.
Even here, even here in India, the last trophy, when the last time we won the FA Cup, it was Louis van Gaal, and we were basically, it was a night game and it went into extra time. I think it was like 11 o'clock kickoff for us, so 11-1 already plus 30 minutes, and we were almost 550 people, like stuffed in a bar, in a hot May summer, and we are like, just somehow hold on. Don't let this game go into the penalties. Like, so that's basically what happens. Whether it's with any cup final. Obviously, we don't rate Carabao that much, but FA Cup is a totally different beast.
Yeah, it's a fantastic trophy. It really is. But yeah, we need to start doing better in those trophies because last year was a disgrace, wasn't it? The Middlesbrough game,
Exactly.
West Ham. Was it West Ham as well? We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup or something. It was a nightmare. So hopefully we start to target them again because it's important. You want Man United to continue to be the most successful team. So yeah, we need it. We need it definitely.
Yeah, Ronaldo's intensity. I think at the age of 37, you cannot expect him to keep on going for 90 minutes every game, and he didn't have a preseason. So he is still getting into that zone where he can start getting those 90 minutes. Twisted Faith is saying Anthony's celebration and the team celebrating in him. And this which is Venkatesh Bhai has shared. Thanks a lot for joining Venkatesh Bhai. When I saw the ball going in and the net shaking, I expressed all my feelings the way I did. Yes, it gave me goosebumps for sure. That hug, at the end, with Anthony and Martinez, it was like goosebumps for every United fan at that point of time.
Yeah, there was something so special when that ball went in the goal because I don't know, just you could hear the Arsenal fans giving Anthony stick as well, and it's brilliant when he scored a player like that, for the price as well that we've paid to score on his debut, and I just think we've needed those characters for a long time. We've now got Martinez, Casemiro, Anthony, that South American sort of flair and the horrible mentality that they have as well sometimes. But we needed that. We were a bit soft, weren't we? With Lindelof and Maguire in defence last year, they were a little bit soft, and I think we needed some players with real character. So yes, it's fantastic.
Hello, Anshan Sebastian. Thanks a lot, Ranwai, for joining in. Who's our best player? Overall, if we see, I think it's Eriksen so far.
Yeah, difficult. Probably Eriksen or I would say as well, Malacia has done very well. He hasn't done much wrong, has he? I think Malacia had a difficult game yesterday, but I think he's done very well generally.
So far, he has done well, but last night he was basically totally found out. He was not getting the help. The only thing that kept him in the game was his pace. He got run ragged by Saka 2-3 times, but he kept coming back. So for me, definitely Eriksen. It's like three-way street for me at this point of time. Eriksen, McTominay, and Martinez.
Yeah, I think Eriksen, Martinez, and for me, Malacia. Those three would get the knock for me. Not quite McTominay yet, but I think Eriksen's probably the standout, isn't he? He's been
Yeah, for
exceptional.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, and even with the running, 30-year-old covering almost 11 kilometers a game, it's absolutely sensational. He's running. Yesterday, he looked tired for like 70 minutes. We were on the stream, we were talking about how tired he's looking at this point of time.
mm.
And kaboom, all of a sudden, that run and that mentality, that mindset at that point of time to pick a pass, to make sure Rashford is on side as well for the third goal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, different class. I like as well that Eriksen, he's been asked to play in a lot of different positions, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's played literally everywhere, and he doesn't complain. He just gets on with it because other players complain when they play out of their position, but Eriksen never complains. He just gets on with it. So I think again, going back to the character, I think his character is just going to be so helpful this season. It's players like that who will help us to win trophies.
Does Ronaldo actually fit in the first 11 now? At this point of time, no for me. No hatred against Ronaldo, but he's not going to fit straight away. If someone is not performing on his day, you can bring on Ronaldo, change the dimension of the team, but he's not a starter. He's not a starter. Sebastian, your view. Simple as that for me, is not a starter at this point of time. The way eriktenhag wants to play us.
Yeah, agreed. I wouldn't. I don't think you can change Rashford, Antony, and Sancho at the minute. I think you have to keep going with those three. So yeah, ultimately you can't start right now. But as we saw yesterday, Rashford, we know that he can pick up muscle injuries. So at different times. So Ronaldo's going to get lots of minutes. But yeah, he wouldn't be in my first 11 right now. But in the home games against the weaker teams, that's where Ronaldo's going to play. That's where he can pop up and score the goals because Rashford, he hasn't got the composure. When we're dominating the ball, Rashford won't have the composure to put the chance away, whereas Ronaldo will. So that's where Ronaldo will play.
Exactly. All right. So, Ron by cricket level is saying Malacia very impressive, very impressive so far in the very first campaign. Getting in the team just after 2 games, he has hold his own. On the left hand side. So, Ron by saying to be honest in midfield, we got Eriksen who plays with proper mid. With McTominay doing great run by with Casemiro waiting in the wings. If Eriksen can stay fit and if Fred can play, that supporting role, I think we are sorted in the midfield. Sebastian, what do you think? Like with
I think we're it still sometimes feels like we have a gap. Like even yesterday, I didn't feel like I don't feel like we control the midfield, but I think that's just temporary at the minute while everything's getting into its place. But I do think we've got enough options, and that's important. We've definitely got enough options now. So whether you choose Casemiro, whether you choose McTominay, whether you want to bring in players for certain games, I think the good thing is that we've got a lot of options. So like yesterday, Ten Hag, he brought on Fred when he knew that we needed intensity. He knew that we were not getting the ball off Arsenal, so he brought on Fred because he knows that Fred is a good ball winner. So it's good to have these options at different times in games, and I think that's important that we've got lots of options there. So yeah, I'm a lot happier with the midfield than I was last year. As somebody said earlier as well, Eriksen's a massive upgrade on Pogba as well. So that's fantastic.
All right, so guys, I will be taking everyone's comment. Don't mind that. And just at this point of time, we have people in the comment section. Guys, keep on putting up the comment, and I will be taking everyone's comment. So, Malacia looked out a bit yesterday, but that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. You are playing game after game after game. One of those games is gonna come at a time where you are not feeling that 100%. You have a pacey player to deal with. You are not able to deal with. But yeah, the way he recovered, is was absolutely brilliant. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think the problem is Saka. Saka's very strong and he's got great control. Exactly. It's not easy to get the ball. And Saka was going both ways. He was coming in on his left foot and Malacia didn't know what to do. And then he also went down the wing and managed to sort of, cut inside and he got into the box a couple of times. And I was really worried when I saw Saka getting into the box. But I think it was a good sort of lesson for Malacia, and he stuck to the task. But what Malacia did well was when we went 2-1 up, Malacia went higher up the pitch and it forced Saka to go back. So Yeah, okay, Malacia, he had a difficult 15 minutes against Saka, but towards the last 20 minutes of the game, he pushed himself higher up the pitch, and it meant that Saka had to go back with him. So I think it's like a learning curve for Malacia. It's a great experience for him. He's been playing in the Eredivisie against, let's be honest, average players, and he's just played against Mo Salah and Bukayo Saka, so he's only going to get better.
Yeah, Allison is saying United should win FA Cup and Europa League if United don't make top four. Exactly. I think that's what we are going to keep in mind. We are not going to put our eggs in just one basket. Sebastian, just don't let Europa League go. Just let it go. We are not going to do that.
I think what I would do is I'd always play the strongest team in the Premier League. Obviously, I think Premier League is your bread and butter. We need to be getting in the top four in the Premier League, in my opinion. I think that's important that we can do it that way. Of course, yeah, if the Europa League's an option, so keep it open. But I think the Europa League, you've got such easy games at the start, and that's where we can play the younger players, and then later on in the tournament you can play the stronger team. But yeah, I think you need to focus on the league, try to get top four via the league, go for the FA Cup, and then Europa League. Just wait and see what kind of draws we get. But there's a lot of easy games in the Europa League, so we should be able to get to the quarterfinals easily, shouldn't we?
Exactly. Which game EK should play a strong team? Definitely against Palace. Definitely against Palace. That's why we are going to see a lot of changes when it comes to Europa League. I think we are going to might see at least 8 to 9 changes. And when we look, even after 8 to 9 changes, that team in the midfield looks good. In the attack, it looks good. It's just the defense I'm a bit worried about. So we will have to keep an eye on that. In the meanwhile, I think is choosing McTominay over Casemiro a good decision. For me, at this point of time, as the manager explained as well, Casemiro is still getting used to what he wants to play. McTominay knows what the manager wants. So obviously, I'm not saying McTominay is a better player than Casemiro. I would never say that. But why to fix something which is not broken, Sebastian? At this point of time, McTominay is working. If in some games it's not working, bring in Casemiro, we have 5 changes.
Yeah, I think for McTominay, because he's had a whole pre-season, hasn't he? I think that's what the manager means. So, yeah, where McTominay's had a whole pre-season, of course, he's going to be a little bit, more up to date with what Ten Hag wants. But I think Casemiro will get in eventually. It won't take too long. But yeah, I think going back to the Europa League game, it's good. If we can start with a team, like we said earlier, if you can start with Dubravka, maybe Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof if he's fit, Maguire, Luke Shaw, Fred, Casemiro, Garnacho, Ronaldo, maybe Elanga, these types of players, that would be, a decent sort of team and players, that's enough quality there to win the game, isn't there? I think we beat Sociedad, was it 5-0 when we had Oli? So,
I think it was 4, right? 4.
Yeah, so, we know that they're not a great team. They have some pace up front. They've got young players like Mohamed Ali Cho is a good young player, Sadiq as well, who's just gone there. So they have got some pacey players up front, and they've obviously got some good technical players. All Spanish players are good technically, but I think we have to back our the other players need minutes, don't they? And we have to rest the first team as well.
Yeah, in this game, I won't be even if we get a draw from this game, I won't be fuming or I will just all right, our players got the rest that they deserve. Up to Crystal Palace, away game gonna be a tough game.
Yeah, and Crystal Palace are a really physical side. That's a team that could cause us problems. When we talk about Martinez with his height, I don't think it's a problem every week because we don't play against teams like that every week. The last few games we've played, Martinez has had no problem because Liverpool, Southampton, Leicester, Arsenal, they don't really have a physical striker. But I think when you play against Palace, if they were to play Mateta, Anderson, we saw how physical he is against Darwin Núñez. Palace have got some big 6 foot, 6 foot 3 players. So I think that's where that's why we should rest the players, so that they are ready physically for the Palace game.
Exactly. Kaushik is asking, is Antony like second Neymar, the way Neymar plays in his early days? There is a bit of similarity. That flair is there. Overall gameplay is not that similar, but when you look at the flair part, Neymar from his earlier days was a potent goal scorer, even from wings. That's why he got his big money move to Barcelona after playing for Santos, because he was scoring goals for fun. When it comes to Antony, he loves to thrill. He will always be on the touchline trying to make that run, but don't expect like 15, 20 goals from the likes of Anthony. Neymar used to do it for fun. So that's where the difference is. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think it's a sort of interesting comparison. Yeah, I think Neymar was probably had more natural talent, but Anthony's he's a fantastic player. I think he's going to be really good for us. I think what impressed me yesterday with Anthony was he's so direct as well. For a first game, it would have been easy for him to just give the ball, play it safe, but he didn't do that. As I said earlier, he had a shot that went miles over the bar, and then he tried the Beckham one as well from miles out. Anthony had tried the David Beckham sort of shot from 40 yards. So no, I thought it was a fantastic debut from him, and he showed the composure to finish as well. So yeah, I think Anthony's going to be a top player for us. I really so happy with that deal. I couldn't care less about the price on that one because he's going to be a top player.
Exactly. This is a good one. This is a good one. We were scammed with Martinez. He was supposed to be an important midget as per Rivals fans, but we have got a passionate beast.
Yeah, he's absolute beast. His character, Martinez set the tone against Liverpool, and that's where it all changed for me. Martinez just smashed into someone in that Liverpool game, got the crowd up, and since that moment, we've never looked back, have we? We've never looked back since that moment. So yeah,
absolutely not. We have not even talked about how in that game, even in the last 10 minutes, how fragile we were defensively. When we conceded that goal, looked like they might score the second goal. But yeah, fortunately for us, we hold on, we move on. It's now 4 on the trot. But we will be talking about, guys, other games as well. City dropping points, Sebastian. City dropping points, and they could have not got single point from that game. Again, a VAR disaster.
Yeah.
Coutinho scoring, but before he scored the goal, it was given as offside, and it was clearly onside.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see. Obviously, City and Liverpool both dropped points, didn't they? So that was good to see. Yeah. I watched the Everton Liverpool game, and it's probably one of the best 0-0s that I've seen in a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah, Man City. I think obviously Haaland. He's just such a clinical finisher, isn't he? But yeah, they are a bit fragile defensively. City, against Newcastle, they were lucky to get back in that game, and then against Villa as well, dropping points. So yeah, I think it's just. I think teams need to be brave against City. If teams are brave against them and against Liverpool, then they can take points. It's when teams just sit back and don't have a go. But it was nice to see Villa with the likes of Watkins trying to use his pace, and it was nice to see Newcastle with Isaac against Liverpool as well the other week trying to use the pace. So yeah, I think it's great. It's quite an open league this year, isn't it? It looks like anyone can do well.
Exactly. Celia saying when he smashed into Salah, kept replaying that. I think all the United fans have seen it like 100 times already. But yeah, these are the moments you see, that the low moment, Martinez moment. So these are the moments as United fans we have not seen a lot in the past. Our defensive unit just giving up goals after goals, and then just they don't even care. They don't even care. In the past, we have seen in the very first 2 games in this season. They're like, okay, we have considered what next, and we were talking in the Brentford game, we were doing the watch along together, and just calm down for a bit.
Yeah, I can't believe how we've gone from the Brentford game to where we are now. It's actually unbelievable. We were like, it was almost like rock bottom, wasn't it? But it just shows that having a manager like Ten Hag, he wasn't going to take it, and I think he said to the players, look, you've got to do better than this. We don't want another season like last year, do we? So
exactly.
Yeah, thank God that it's not. We haven't had a performance like that for a while, thankfully.
Varun Bhai saying winning a trophy with this season, Varun Bhai, fingers crossed, hopefully we do it. And Addison is saying we should give the number 7 to Anthony. I think we should give the number 11 to Anthony and 7 to Sancho. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah. Could do. Yeah, I've never been too bothered about shirt numbers, to be honest. I think we have to be careful with the number 7. I think because certain players can or can't handle it. But I think if Anthony was to get it, he'd be able to handle it. He seems like a good character, doesn't he? He seems strong enough. So yeah.
Yeah, I think they will play in the Europa League. Casemiro and Ronaldo, they will definitely start in the Europa League and will most probably play the entire 90. Just to get that energy going in their veins at this point of time. Sebastian, I don't think there is any doubt they're not going to start.
Yeah, I think they need to, don't they? They both need minutes. Casemiro needs to get used to the playing style. I think it's a good game as well for Casemiro because he'll be used to playing against teams like Sociedad. The pace that
Exactly.
they'll play at. So yeah, I think it's a perfect game for Casemiro and Ronaldo definitely.
JFC is asking which player should Arsenal get to challenge Saka. What do you think, Sebastian?
Well, I think they've already bought the player to challenge Saka. I think they've got Fabio Vieira to challenge him on that side. I actually thought Vieira. I mean, obviously Arsenal made mistakes when they made the subs, but I think Vieira showed some quality.
Three at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Vieira did show like he's got some quality on. So I think that's the player who's going to challenge Saka. Yeah, must be Vieira because he's a left footer as well who can do the same sort of thing. But I'm surprised that. Obviously, Saka hasn't signed the contract yet, has he? So that'll be interesting to see if Arsenal miss out on top four. If somebody, it wouldn't surprise me if Man City tried to buy Saka next season. If Arsenal miss out on top four, I think there's a good chance of that happening.
Exactly. Moving on. So Chespet is asking, Anshu, do you think Anthony is like a young Ronaldo? Very, very difficult to compare at this point of time to Chespet. Very, very difficult to compare. The reason being, the young Ronaldo, although we had a lot of expectations at that point of time, he didn't come with that baggage, of a 80 million or 85 million price tag. And when we see what Anthony has done for Ajax and what Sporting he did for Sporting. So Anthony has like 2 years, with Ajax. He has played in the Champions League. Ronaldo came back straight into the United 11. So flair-wise, you can say that, but quality-wise, Anthony, I think, many people will say he's just a bit ahead because he has Champions League experience. But for me, that guy was scouted by Sir Alex. He watched him, he got him, within 45 minutes. He was like, okay, get this guy. Arsenal is on our wing. So I think too early to compare. Flair-wise, he is there, according, as we talked about Neymar. So flair-wise, he's alongside both of them. But productivity-wise, we will just have to wait and watch, what he can do. And obviously, with the price tag, it becomes much more debatable for everyone at this point of time. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think in terms of all the things that you said, I think are true. I think the thing is to compare anyone to Ronaldo. Ronaldo obviously just went on to such a high level that it would be hard for anybody to ever get near Ronaldo or Messi what they did. I think Anthony's got the sort of, he's got the same sort of some similar attributes to Ronaldo as well. Obviously, different types of players in terms of different feet that they use predominantly. But yeah, I think Anthony. I don't think we need to put pressure on him in that way. I don't think we need to compare him really to anyone. I think just see how he does. The manager trusts him. He chucked him straight in yesterday, and he was already scoring goals for Ajax, wasn't he, at the start of the season? So I think he was trusted to play yesterday, which was really, really important.
Exactly. And as Vishalbhai is saying, that don't judge players so straight away, give them time to settle. And I think with the price tag, you don't have a lot of time to settle in this game at this point of time. Sebastian, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good that he's got an early goal for Anthony in particular because there's no pressure on him straight away to get that goal. So he's done that, which is the hard thing. And then let's just see what comes from him. But I think what he did yesterday, he did everything well, didn't he? He didn't give the ball away, which was good as well. There's some players, they panic on their debut, they try to do too much. But yeah, I thought he was perfect yesterday.
Exactly. That backhill to Delo. I told you Anthony is a type of player who will make people stand. That's what we are expecting.
Yeah.
That's what we are expecting. So at this point of time, the least we are expecting from him is to actually excite us. And Prasaiva is here. He has made a bet. So he is like, please make Atlanta score. Hopefully win the bet, Kevin. Hopefully win the bet and Atlanta score. In the meanwhile, Celia has done a super chat. Celia, thanks a lot. And she is wishing Marlene a very happy Marcus Rashford day. That's great to see. The academy players, whenever they perform, it's always great to see, Sebastian. That gives us extra happiness.
Yeah. You want, when they come through the academy, you want them to stay and you want them to, be there for a long time. And I think that's the thing with Rashford. it's all mentally with him. I've always said it. He's always had the talent, but it's mentally. Once he can get his head right, focus on football, I think he's a player who's got so much, hasn't he? He's got so much potential.
Exactly. That's what we have seen. He has basically lacked that last season, but now he is coming back. Twisted Fate saying comparing him to Ronaldo isn't actually big pressure if you look at. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When Ronaldo came, he didn't have the price tag of 100 million player. He was just a teenager. He was just a teenager who had potential. Now, basically, you have Anthony, who has come up with 100 million tag. So that totally changed entire everything. So, Talk welcome to the stream, brother. Thanks a lot. Arsenal fans still trying to So basically, I was watching AFTV, to be very honest, Sebastian. When they lose, I go out and watch them. When they win, obviously I don't go. So they were like, we control the game, we make the mistakes. You control the game for 15 minutes in the second half. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like I said earlier, focus on the mistakes that your team made. If Man United let Gabriel Jesus run through the middle of our defence like they let Rashford, I'd be really angry. So, yeah, I don't know why they're looking at the ref. I think they should look at the problems in their own team. And I said it before the game. I thought we'd win. I looked at their midfield, and I'm sorry, but Xhaka and Lokonga, they are not as good as Eriksen and Bruno, are they? They're not players, and even their defence. They did okay for a few games, but let's be honest, Ben White, he's not exactly a top right back. He's a good centre back, but there was a lot that we could exploit yesterday. So I think we did it well. I think Arteta basically panicked, didn't he? He made the mistake. He shouldn't have taken Zinchenko off. Zinchenko was playing well, and I think taking him off, taking Odegaard off, it was very strange. He panicked, and I think he showed his inexperience yesterday.
Yeah, this is what every United fan is hoping for at this point of time, a Ballon d'Or for winner from academy. But I don't care, to be very honest. I don't care, to be very honest, about Ballon d'Or. As long as our team is winning, whether we get the Ballon d'Or or not, I don't think it's make a difference. Like, what do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be a good story, wouldn't it? I mean, it's good that we've had obviously Ronaldo. I mean, the thing which makes me laugh, when I hear people saying Thierry Henry is the best player that the Premier League's ever had, it's rubbish, because Ronaldo has to be. Because when you talk about the best players in all time, you don't mention Henry, do you? You mention Ronaldo, Maradona, Messi, players like that. You don't mention Henry, and I don't see why people say Henry is the best Premier League player. Because Ronaldo, some fans, they try to say, when Ronaldo was in the Premier League, he wasn't like he was for Real Madrid. It's rubbish. From 2007 to 2009, Ronaldo was a ridiculous level. He won the Ballon d'Or when he was in the Premier League. So you can't get a higher level than that. So I've never understood that comparison when people try to make it. Obviously, Henry is one of the best players, but Ronaldo is the best player that's ever played in the Premier League.
Yeah, and when it comes to Henry, I think it's just the Arsenal fans. Majority of the Arsenal fans, just like Spurs fans or Liverpool fans, saying Harry Kane, the greatest goal scorer, or the Van Dijk is the best ever defender ever. Like, not even in the Premier League ever. I'm like, I am not gonna waste my time or energy. So
no, but I've heard like Carragher saying it as well. Like Carragher always says, Henry's the best player to ever play the Premier League, and like Darren Bent on TalkSport was saying it, like, Henry's the best player, and it's like, oh, come on, like seriously. They tried to say that Ronaldo wasn't at the level. It's utter nonsense. As I said, he wouldn't have won the Ballon d'Or if he wasn't at the top level, would he? It's
exactly.
crazy.
Guys, we will talk about VAR. So what do you think, Sebastian? So much inconsistency, and just because when we look at how VAR is operating outside, outside of England, when we look at Spain, when we look at even MLS, when we look at Germany, VAR is absolutely on next level. VAR is absolutely on next level, and here it's absolutely rubbish, dog shit. Not a single decision for a sure that it's going to happen the next week, and similar decision is going to be given.
Yeah.
So 1 week it's a different decision, next week it's a totally different decision. Let's talk about that goal which was not given, the Chelsea versus West Ham goal. Look at Mendy, Oscar level acting, and it was the same foul on De Gea. The goal was given.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, that the Chelsea one was the one for me. Because Mendy, even for the first goal, he tried to
Yeah,
like fake it. He tried to get a foul because Mendy has made a lot of mistakes. Like Mendy is not the goalkeeper he was. He's made a lot of mistakes, and it was never a foul, was it? And the referee he completely bottled it. He completely bottled it because it was at Stamford Bridge, and it was ridiculous decision, absolutely ridiculous. I think this weekend has been the worst, one of the worst weekends I can remember for refereeing decisions.
exactly.
I think they are confused themselves. I don't even think they know the rules.
Exactly. Carragher, exactly. Arsenal fans moaning on Twitter. Yeah, these are the social media warriors. When you look at the number of Arsenal fans on social media, they are the most vocal. You know, they are the most vocal. You will see Arsenal fans on social media everywhere, pretending as if they have won every trophy in the last 10 years. They have won absolutely nothing. Apart from FA Cups, and they pretend as if they have a team and a manager who is going to make them invincible again.
The sad thing about Arsenal, like they are a very historic club. When I grew up, it was Arsenal and Man United, so I have a lot of
Yeah,
respect. I have a lot of respect for Arsenal. The club itself, the history of Arsenal. It's a fantastic club, but I hate it when their fans act like that. They just act so spoiled and childish. Just
exactly.
give the other team some credit. They won. Get over it.
No, they're still like, oh, we dominated at Old Trafford. Dude, you didn't dominate it at Old Trafford. You
Yeah,
dominated for 15 minutes, and from which the goal that came, it was the mistake of a United defender.
yeah.
You know? Yeah, it was a misplaced pass. You pounced on, you got it. Kudos to you. But don't talk about you dominated the game. In the first half, you had one chance. That was the Martinelli one, and that was on a foul. Apart from that, you barely made De Gea even break a sweat.
Yeah. I heard people saying, "Oh, Ramsdale didn't make many saves." Well, that's because the ball went in the back of the net. But it wasn't like De Gea made any saves, was it? He didn't make many either.
In the entire game, he didn't make any saves. It was just one shot on target from
Yeah,
Arsenal in that game.
yeah,
Yeah, Allison is making a really good point. Newcastle fans would say that Alan Shearer was the best striker. Everyone is biased when it comes to the club. And one
yeah.
thing we all know to do is believe ETH selection. You know, Ronaldo stands absolutely lost it. Sebastian, in the last game after the team sheet was announced, they were 100% sure that Ronaldo will start, and he
Yeah,
didn't start, and they lost the
no,
plot line.
yeah. Just one of those things. One of those things, I guess. Going back to the Alan Shearer comment, I agree. It's like I think Alan Shearer. Newcastle fans will say Shearer, Arsenal will say Henry, United fans will say Rooney, Cantona, whatever. So we'll always rate our players similar, but I think the one standout who's better than anyone is Cristiano Ronaldo. Prime Cristiano Ronaldo was better than anyone. And it's not even a debate.
Yeah, those 2 years, like people don't understand when I make points about Ronaldo. Like when I say that the legacy of Rooney is bigger at United than Ronaldo, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Was Rooney a better player than Ronaldo? No, he was not. Skill wise, he was not. But is Rooney a bigger legend for United than Ronaldo? Yes, he is.
Yeah, yeah,
People needs to make sure that they are not complicating things. When it comes to having like those 2 seasons and what Ronaldo did in 5 years, Ronaldo is a bigger Madrid legend than a United legend. People need to understand that. He has his legendary status with United. That's not going to taken away. But for me, I am not going to talk about everyone, but for me, someone like Rooney, someone like Scholes, someone like Schmeichel, someone like Cantona, these guys have bigger legacy at United than Ronaldo. It might not be liked by everybody, you know, and I'm not going to take away the legacy that Ronaldo has created at the club. But for me, he's not bigger than Rooney or the likes of Giggs or Scholes or Schmeichel or Cantona at this club. I'm not talking about skill wise. I'm talking about the legacy, that number of years they have spent for the club. Sebastian, your take on this?
yeah. I agree. I think the players like your Scholes, your Giggs, Gary Neville's, they stayed at the club through thick and thin. So they will always be they will always be United legends because they stayed their whole career. And Rooney the same. I know Rooney obviously left at the very end to go to Everton for a year, but that's when he knew that he was finished at United. So, yeah, I mean, Rooney's our all-time top goal scorer. What he did since such a young player. What I loved about Rooney was he would play anywhere. He was so unselfish because prime Rooney and prime Ronaldo around the sort of 2007 to 2009, those years, they were both really, really good. It wasn't like Ronaldo was so much better than Rooney. It was just that Rooney was so unselfish that he would play on the left, and that was the thing. So
that guy played as a CDM. Sorry to interrupt you, Sebastian. That guy was played even as a CDM by LVG, and he played over there. He didn't create a fuss. He played over there.
Yeah. No, well, I agree with you about Rooney. For me, yeah, I mean, he's my favourite Man United player. I know that he had a little moment where he wanted to leave, but if you actually research about that and you listen about that, it was because he was angry that the club wasn't going for the Champions League. We sold Ronaldo and we were buying players like Gabriel Obertan. So Rooney, he wanted the best for Man United, and that's the only reason that he wanted to leave.
Yeah, now that we have taken the name, I literally don't want it. I didn't want anyone to take this name ever. Like Ronaldo replaced by Overton. I feel like just taking my head like this and just bump it to the head. Whose idea was that?
Yeah.
Who thought Overton is going to replace Ronaldo? Whoever that scout was, or who basically given the final authority, should have been sacked at that moment itself.
Yeah.
Someone like Ronaldo being replaced by Everton.
Yeah, we were all over the place at that time, and Rooney felt it, because in 2011, we didn't have a good a team as Barcelona, did we? Let's be honest. In that final, Barcelona had a stronger team, and I think Rooney felt it. Rooney was the player who scored in the final, and he wanted better players around him, and he didn't have it, did he?
Exactly. Arsenal fans, Saliba. My Arsenal fans, when it comes to Arsenal fans, they are a deluded lot. Absolutely deluded lot. These guys think that Partey is better than Casemiro. These guys think that Martinelli is better than Vinicius. So these guys have their own parallel universe where they live. They don't have any idea what they're talking about. And look at look at the profile of those Arsenal fans. Football expert. This podcast, that podcast. I'm like, who the fuck is listening to you talking about, Vinicius is not a better player than Martinelli. I really want to have that crowd, who will just come up and they will increase my views and they will be like, yay, yes, Martinelli is better than Vinicius, I won't be surprised if tomorrow they wake up and they're like, what, Ramsdale is better than Courtois.
Yeah, crazy, wouldn't it? No, I've seen a little bit of the documentary, and I think it's a bit silly making Arteta do a documentary when he's so young as a manager. I think it puts him under more pressure as well. I never understood that. Like when Tottenham did it, at least Pochettino was a bit more experienced, but I thought that was a bit weird from Arsenal doing that when Arteta's so young as well.
Exactly. All right, Sonit bhai, welcome to the stream, guys. Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez, we will talk about it. And Sonit bhai is saying, why I'm not seeing the option of we win the league. Too early to say, Sonit bhai. Too early to say. Not gonna get cocky. Not as deluded as Arsenal fans. We know where our team stands at this point of time. I think City are still the clear favorites. It's just 6 games. They are still the clear favorites. And if we are getting top 4, we should take it. We should definitely go for Europa or FA Cup. And too early for the even thinking about we are in the title race. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, a little bit early. I think we don't need to put that pressure on ourselves. Just keep winning games, keep winning. If we can go to Palace and we can nick a 1-0, I'll be more than happy. Just keep winning, keep building momentum, keep doing the basics right. When you do the basics right, that's when you get luck. That's when you get your bits of luck, and then that's when you win games. So I think that's all United need to do at the minute is focus on the Premier League. Get back to being a good team in the Premier League because the whole world watches the Premier League, don't they? You want your team to be a successful team in that, and that's your bread and butter. That's what everyone watches every week. So I think if we can get, if we could finish even third, that would be good. If we could finish third and win an FA Cup, But yeah, I don't think we should limit ourselves. I think we just need to keep winning games, keep pushing on,
Exactly.
doing the right things, and that will take us far, won't it?
Exactly. Manjitsu, welcome to the stream. We were just talking about the Premier League preview. We have covered few games. Sebastian still has like 15 minutes with us, so we will take more questions for Sebastian. Prince, I am fine. How are you? These guys win a FA Cup and they celebrate it like a treble. Yeah, FA Cup they should celebrate, but obviously not like a treble. And they are still living in that 2004-5 season. What do you think, Sebastian, about this?
Yeah. That like I said earlier, that Arsenal team. That was a brilliant team, and they deserve all the credit. But yeah, I think the team right now, they just got overhyped, didn't they? They won 5 games that they should have won. Okay, you still have to win them, but I don't know how anyone was mentioning Arsenal for the league. I never saw that.
Exactly. Me too, me too. I was like, let them play Europa, let
Yeah.
them have the World Cup, then we will see how good their squad is. At this point of time, without Partey, they look like a run over midfield, just without one guy.
Yeah.
You know, just without one guy. So Sanjay by saying City is clearly favorite for title and PSG's favorite for UCL. I think City is favorite for all the 4 competitions this year. For me, definitely for me, they are one of the favorites for all the 4 competitions. So what do you think, Sebastian? City,
Yeah.
obviously Champions League favorites again.
Well, because I don't agree with state ownership, whatever Man City or PSG win in my world, it doesn't mean anything. So Man City or PSG, they could win trebles, quadruples. It doesn't mean anything to me because I don't think state ownership should be allowed. So yeah, I think it's great for football when they get knocked out of the Champions League, both those teams, because I think they're both an absolute disgrace. I don't blame the fans. I don't blame the fans at all. The fans, you can't help who takes over your club. If I don't know if Sheikh Mansour had taken over Man United, there's nothing we can do. It's not
Exactly.
fans' fault. But I don't agree with it, and I just think it's completely wrong that the City and PSG have those ownerships. So yeah, I mean, I'd rather somebody else won it. I think Real Madrid are favourites. Really, Real Madrid have got to be favourites. Yeah, I wouldn't rule them out. I think they're probably the number one for me. And Liverpool are always going to be dangerous in the Champions League as well, unfortunately.
All right. So any silverware, Manchester saying any silverware important at the end. UCL Real Madrid to surprise again. We will talk about it. Getting back to few of the other games in the Premier League. Before you have to go, Sebastian, you know you are short on time. So few of the games from the last week. One game, Graham Potter, 5-2 against Leicester. Is he the best English manager in the league at this point of time? First of all. And
Yeah.
how far is his ceiling with some club like Brighton? What do you think?
Yeah, I think in terms of, well, is he the best English manager? I think he's definitely up there, isn't he? He's the standout one right now. I think if Southgate was to get sacked tomorrow, I think Potter would be number one probably choice for the England manager's job, wouldn't he? And I think it's got to the stage now where the next big team who struggles and sacks their manager, they might look at Potter. If Arteta was to get sacked at Arsenal, it wouldn't surprise you if in a year's time, they looked at Potter or someone like that. I think he's doing that well. In terms of the ceiling with Brighton, it's difficult because Brighton do sell their best players. They sell them very well. They sold Cucurella for a great price, and then they brought in a really good left back from Villarreal. So Brighton do fantastic business. They're very, very smart. But yeah, I think there's only so far you can take Brighton ultimately because they will always sell their best players. I think Brighton are one of the best teams to watch right now.
Exactly. The way they play, the flair is there. They don't have world beaters, but they play as a team. They defend as a team. In the midfield, Caicedo is cooking. Gross is doing great things. Then you have the wing backs who are doing fabulously well. Trossard, winger turned into a wing back, doing fantastically well. So they at this point of time they're cooking as a team. Sonic by saying I believe both City and PSG will crash out. That would be a huge surprise. Huge surprise.
It'd be nice, yeah. I think City have got an easy group, haven't they? So they'll get through the group easy.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool's group's an interesting one because you've got Napoli, Ajax, Rangers, and obviously Ajax lost a lot of their players, but they've still got. They also bought some good players. Rangers will give it everything, and I think the good thing with Liverpool's group is that those games will take everything out of Liverpool because all three of those games they are like real big atmospheres. So I think for the Liverpool team, it's going to take a lot out of them those group stages.
Sonnet has made a really good reference. Potter is like Jesse Pinkman right now, working like Heisenberg Pep, just with less money.
Yeah, I can't believe Better Call Saul was finished now. I wish I could still watch it.
Sorry for Rogers, I'm afraid he will be sacked. So not sorry for Rogers at all. But yeah, he has not been back this window, and I do think that he will be sacked very, very shortly. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think he's the way that he's talking. It looks like he's going to go.
Yeah,
The owners I don't know what's happened. I mean, obviously, the ownership. It's a difficult situation with Leicester, so I guess that the owners just don't want to pump any more money, and I guess it will all come out in a few weeks why that is. But Leicester are not spending the money that they once were. I think as well that Rodgers has to take some of the blame because they did buy a lot of players last summer. They bought Daka, they bought Sumari, they bought the two players from Southampton, and realistically, none of them have worked. I still think Daka's a good player, but Leicester haven't. Rodgers hasn't got it working, has he? And I think he has to take some of the blame. He's fell out with Soyuncu. Soyuncu a couple of years ago was rated really highly, and now he's gonna go and play for Galatasaray. So
exactly.
I think Rodgers will go soon. That's how it's looking for sure.
Okay, so Ankita, welcome to the stream. First of all, thanks a lot for joining. Does Potter deserve a chance to manage any of the top 6 teams? At this point of time, I think he can. If Conte leaves, if Conte is sacked, if he's getting that vibes, I think Potter fits straight into Spurs territory. What do you think?
Yeah. I think if Arsenal or Tottenham were to lose their manager for whatever reason, I think Potter would be in the running for those jobs definitely. I don't really see him at Chelsea because Chelsea like a big name, don't they? But yeah, I think Potter would be in the running for that definitely. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Tuchel as well because Tuchel has been really, really moody in his interviews. I don't think he looks particularly happy. So it'd be interesting. I think Tuchel, if Chelsea keep playing like they are, I think he could be in trouble as well.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying don't be like lasers, suspend your likes and super chats right here. Guys, the channel is monetized as you know. So membership, super chats, everything is welcome, that's for sure. And Emirates might be a long contender. Let's see how much they basically demands. At this point of time, we are just sharing one report. So, we will have to just wait and discuss it in detail. Vishal by saying good, we will only link with Rodgers. I never thought he is, a top 3 or top 4 manager. Rodgers, he had his run. He won the FA Cup with Leicester, and I think that's his ceiling. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah. Well, if you remember with Liverpool when he bought Balotelli, he bought Ricky Lambert, players like that. He's not. Yeah. I just think he's terrible in the transfer market. So yeah, I wouldn't want Rodgers. I don't know. He's a bit of a strange person, Rodgers. I don't know when you watch him in interviews, he's a little bit. I don't know. He seems just a bit strange for me. So no, I don't think he's got the character. Is what I'm trying to say. He hasn't got the personality to be a manager of a top club. He doesn't. He's not particularly interesting, is he, in interviews? So no, not for me.
Okay, so Christopher is saying I'm looking for a shock winner. I think too much of a difference when it comes to Rangers and Celtic to go out and win this competition now. Too much of a difference. Like when you look at the teams that they have, for a moment I can even take Spurs or for a moment I can even talk about Borussia Dortmund. Might be the dark horse and go out and win it. But Rangers and Celtic at this point of time is just, they have too big of a bridge to cross, when it comes to winning the Champions League. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think miles off it. I mean, they nearly won the Europa, didn't they? I think they could get knocked out and go into the Europa and do well, but yeah, I think they just haven't got the finances, have they? But it's great to see Celtic and Rangers, in the Champions League because I think the atmosphere that they create, that Celtic and Rangers, they have great fans, whatever. Exactly. If you like these teams or not, I think Celtic, Rangers, Leeds, Man United, I think we have the best 4 fans in Britain for me.
Alison is saying, Vishal is saying Rodgers and Liverpool match made in heaven. Alison is saying, he should not have stayed at Celtic. I think he did a decent job with Leicester, He won them the FA Cup, but he has not been back. And I don't think at this point of time he has a plan B He's being figured out and he's not able to come up with a plan B. I think that's what happened with Ole eventually. When he was not able to come up with plan B, kept on playing the same personnel week after week, eventually got found out and face the sack. At this point of time, I think Rodgers is facing the same problem, as a manager of Leicester. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think it's similar. I just think something's gone. He's obviously not happy with not getting any players, but yeah, I mean Leicester. To be honest, Leicester they just didn't do the transfer window very well because they should have sold Fofana at the start of the window, and then they could have used that money, to buy some other players. But they lost a goalkeeper in Schmeichel, who's a really big character. I think Kasper Schmeichel's a great goalkeeper. They've lost him as well. So yeah, I think there's big problems at Leicester at the minute.
So I think where will Klopp go in the winter is going to be sacked soon, isn't he?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Klopp. I mean, he doesn't look very happy at the moment, does he?
Absolutely not. He is looking, like the Dortmund team, where Dortmund allowed players to leave, and after that he couldn't get into the transfer market. This time he has got the players, but he's still looking, like one of those Dortmund days, where he basically lost the plot after winning the trophy for 2 consecutive seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so guys, final few questions. As we all know, Sebastian is a bit short on time today. So why did Antony start straight away and not Casemiro? Matata is already being answered by, the manager. So go and check out what he has said. So basically, he has said that Antony knew the system. Casemiro is still getting into the system. That's why Antony started. 58 minutes, brilliant goal. What do you need? What else do you need?
Yeah, exactly. Did the job.
Now, Sebastian, this one should have gone for Schmeichel. I think no one saw it coming. All of a sudden that news came and he's off to France.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few players who have signed for Nice, haven't they? Because obviously they've got, I think Radcliffe's the owner, isn't he there? So also got that connection. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I would have had Schmeichel, definitely. I think Schmeichel's an all-round better goalkeeper than De Gea if you talk about the full package. I would have liked Schmeichel maybe 5 years ago, to be honest. I think he's a fantastic keeper, and he would have been great competition. Him and De Gea would have been perfect. So yeah, I'm surprised that Schmeichel never had a spell at Man United. You would have thought because of the connection that he would have come to United at some point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. At least, even as a backup goalkeeper, Sebastian, just get into the team and just try for it. In the summer, we could have definitely gone for him, like a no-brainer. No-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic character as well, isn't he? He's one of those characters that you'd want in the dressing room.
Exactly. This is the thing. Ankit, I don't think he is suited for Liverpool. Too much pressure. But the likes of Spurs, if Potter can go out there and basically get something for Spurs, he will be in contention for better teams. At this point of time, I don't think, he is Liverpool level at this point of time. What do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, difficult. I mean, I don't think Liverpool will be sacking Klopp anytime soon. So I think what you said earlier. I think Potter would be great for Tottenham or for Arsenal in the future.
Exactly. I think once Thiago will come, he will be out for at least 2 months, out of which I think 3 weeks has gone. So still out for like 3 to 4 weeks. So let's see how that goes. United should get Pickford. I don't think we should get Pickford, Alison. Pickford, when Pickford blows hot and cold. Sebastian, in one game he's making like 9 saves, and in the next game he might do a blunder.
Yeah, for England he's really good, but for Everton he's not very consistent. But he's great. He's great with his feet, definitely. So it wouldn't surprise me if we looked at someone like that, because obviously Ten Hag was looking at the Leeds goalkeeper as well. So I mean, yeah, if you want someone who's good with their feet, then Pickford or the Leeds goalkeeper Mercier would be a good shout. But I want more of a physical goalkeeper, and yeah, Pickford is a little bit on and off, isn't he? You can't necessarily trust him, so probably wouldn't be my number one choice.
Okay, so Vishal is saying Klopp will start a business, 101 reasons to cry after losing or draw.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably the wind's fault this week.
I think we should have gone for Nick Pope. I don't think as I said, there was no communication when it comes to Dean Henderson. There was absolutely no communication between the club and the manager. So he didn't even talk to the manager, and he just left. Sanctioned his departure or on a loan move. At this point of time, no one knows. But yeah, I think no one was expecting, or people were expecting him to stay. Whatever their thought process was, Henderson goes out. It was just hidden, and now we have Dubravka. So let's see. Jill is saying Pickford is a bit short too. That does comes into consideration. Do you think, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think Pickford's a similar keeper to De Gea in the sense of, like he's got the same sort of problems as De Gea. He's just better with his feet. But
Yeah,
he wouldn't be my number one. I think we should go for a more physical goalie definitely than Pickford. I think there are better options as well. I think he'd probably be quite expensive as well because you're going to have the English tax as well.
exactly. It's like if it's like 25 million English tax, 50 million. Okay, we're not even talking for less. So Sebastian, you have few minutes more, or you have to leave because you talked about 90 minutes. So
Yeah. So that's perfect. Yeah. So nice to come on and chat to everybody. Anyway, so we'll do something again next week. I think definitely.
definitely, Sebastian, thanks a lot for joining in. I know it's been a bit when it comes to moving around. Obviously you have a lot of things to settle. So guys, Sebastian has moved to a totally different city. So just hope that he gets settled into that place very very nicely. And we all know, Sebastian is like our South American expert at this point of time. So he is going to every country, every city, trying to get the next big thing for United from South America.
Yeah, trying to find the best talents around.
Definitely. Sebastian, thanks a lot for joining in, man.
Definitely, very welcome. And yeah, see everybody later. Have a good rest of the day. And yeah, feel free to come over to my channel anytime as well. Check it out, guys. There'll be lots of
Absolutely,
videos
guys.
there.
Yeah, I forgot. I have put up the channel link in the description. So definitely do keep the notification bell on for Sebastian's channel. He keeps on putting up short videos. So make sure that you go out and show a lot of support to his channel as well. So don't forget that. Don't forget that.
Definitely, guys. Perfect. Right. Well, enjoy the rest of the show,
Thanks a
guys.
lot for
I'll see you next week.
Definitely.
Perfect.
All right, guys. So it's now me all alone. So going to take all the questions. So Maguire for goalkeeper, Ade bhai. Henderson just dipped. I would say Nick Pope. Yeah, he could have been a choice, but I think there was no communication. That's what I'm saying. Jill, thanks a lot for joining in. All right, guys. So I'm now all out here. So why do I see? Oh भाई साहब, इस पे क्या ही बोलूँ मैं, So guys, whoever is joining in, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And whatever views you have, just make sure you get into the comment section as soon as possible. So, we have talked about the game week so far, and we will keep the stream going for a bit longer, and then we will call it off. So tomorrow, guys, we will see each other most probably in the afternoon. If I cannot come in the afternoon, definitely at night. So once stream will be there for sure. No, I didn't promise anyone anything. I don't make promises sitting out here. So yes, and more than that, the manager knows what he's trying to do at this point of time. The manager knows what he's trying to do at this point of time. So that helps. As a fan, watching it, that the manager has clarity. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. So now the next step for us is to keep on building on what we have. And at the same point of time, the fitness level, the fitness level. Exactly. Well said. This should have been done by Ole long back, but it's fine. Jones is better. He has won the PL. So, sorry by saying only provision so I made it to me. Absolutely, Sonaj bhai, bilkul. I love how HTH is helping our players shut off the stupid comments from the pundits. Everyone is at their game at this point of time. Everyone is at their game at this point of time, and they are doing the job. Regardless of whatever people are talking in the social media, they are not bothered about that. They know what they have to do. They go out there, they perform, and that's what we need. ठीक है, हमें यही चाहिए भाई अभी, और इसके अलावा हमें कुछ नहीं चाहिए. हम तो कंपोजर भी खरीदेंगे, बिल्कुल भाई. भाई इनमें इन दोनों का गेम है, इन दोनों का गेम है, whoever loses goes out, you know, whoever loses goes out. बिल्कुल तो भाई देखो वही वाली बात है, when it comes to what we are trying to build, it's gonna take some time. ठीक है, ये बात हम पहले भी कर चुके हैं भाई, ये हर स्ट्रीम पे we can talk about the same thing. 4 wins on the trot, 4 wins on the trot, we move on. Okay, 4 wins on the trot, we move on. And at this point of time, you know, the biggest thing is to make sure कि भाई कोई बंदा जो है ना, अपना जो प्लेयर है वो कोई इंजर्ड ना हो भाई, because we all know डिफेंसिव लाइन में इंजरी हुई, that's where the real problem will arise. You know, before that, not a lot of problems, but the moment we have a problem in defensive line, that's where things can go wrong. You know, that's where things can go wrong. So long season, exactly. World Cup is there. We have so many games. So many games that we have to keep in mind. कि भाई एक ही गेम नहीं है, long season ahead, so many games to play, and we cannot afford. We don't have the luxury like City at this point of time. You know, where they have 2 or 3 players injured and they are still playing at their best. We don't have that luxury. So we have to make sure that at this point of time, the best we can do, you know, the best we can do is to keep our players fit. भाई अगला जो गेम है ना, जो अगला गेम है सोसिएडाड के अगेंस्ट, if you have to make 11 changes, make it, because उसके 2 दिन बाद गेम है भाई. You know, honest views on Sancho. भाई he's performing. क्या चाहिए तुम्हें? He's still not, I think, he's still not giving us 90 minutes, which is a concern. You know, which is a concern. But otherwise he's doing well. अंकित भाई बिल्कुल सही, आप बताओ, how are you? How is everything? Yeah, and City, unlike Nottingham Forest, they have a well-gelled squad and they know what they are doing. They have Guardiola as their manager. So for City, everything is sorted. Exactly. So as I said, guys, whoever is joining in, please like, share, subscribe. That helps a lot. And we are reaching, you know, moving slowly, but we are moving towards 4,000. So hopefully we reach that number as soon as possible. And then Nottingham Forest, UCL. भाई Nottingham Forest के पास 2 UCL है. Sonit भाई, Nottingham Forest के पास 2 UCL है. They won it, I guess, back to back. Nottingham Forest के पास 2 UCL है भाई. And that too back to back. मैं फिर भी एक बार कंफर्म हो लेता हूं, बट एक नहीं है, मेरे ख्याल से 2 है बैक टू बैक. Exactly. Really happy for the low. Really happy for the low. हाँ, बैक टू बैक है भाई. 78, 79 and 79, 18. Yeah, 79, 80. So exactly. 2 हैं भाई. रूट टू रेलिगेशन 2 यूसीएल है. सुबोध भाई वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. भाई मेरे एफपीएल में तो कब से है ये. Whatever it is, United problem from clubs, yeah. You know, when we don't have majority of the ball, that's where we flourish. But we will have to come up with a game plan where even if we are having the ball, you know, we are much more penetrative when it comes to the third half. You know, so चलो भाई, खुश हो भाई. कितने पैसे लगाए थे बताओ अब, ये हम भी तो जाने भाई साहब. भाई अटलांटा का गेम था किसके साथ? ओके, मोन्जा. या इजी विन भाई, इजी विन होना था ये तो. टीए डिप्ड आफ्टर यूसीएल फाइनल. भाई टीए देखो भाई, उससे डिफेंस वैसे भी नहीं होता. You know, when it comes to TAA, मोन्जा से था भाई, आराम से जीतना था, आराम से जीतना था। तो भाई जो लोग भी ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर ज्वाइनिंग फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एंड मेक श्योर दैट यू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल, एंड व्हाटएवर व्यूज यू हैव भाई, जो भी बात करनी है आ जाओ। अरे और क्या चाहिए भाई, मैंने तो ऐसा कभी नहीं सुना भाई, मैंने ऐसा कभी नहीं सुना। No, he is not better than TEA. Who is saying he is better than TEA? किसने बोला भाई he is better than TEA? He is not. और डिफेंसिवली ट्रेंड से बेटर तो भाई हर कोई है लीग में, डिफेंसिवली ट्रेंड से बेटर तो हर कोई है लीग में। या मंजा लास्ट है भाई। भाई I have picked up Portugal as a dark horses. No, he is talking about, भाई साला के बारे में बात करते हैं, बिल्कुल अंकित भाई साला के बारे में बात करते हैं। साला इज नॉट द सेम आफ्टर माने हैज लेफ्ट। माने के जाने के बाद से साला इज नॉट द सेम। पोर्चुगल और एग्जैक्टली भाई, कल तो रेसलिंग भी कर दी बंदे ने। एलिसन इज सेइंग पोर्चुगल फॉर और ब्राजील फॉर वर्ल्ड कप। ओके आशीष भाई, आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग डेफिनेटली अ टॉप 4 फिनिश नाउ, एक्सपेक्टिंग डेफिनेटली टॉप 4 फिनिश नाउ। प्रसाद भाई देखो, जब प्लेयर खेलने लग जाता है ना तो सब बोलते हैं कि अरे इसको नहीं बेचना चाहिए या जो भी है, बट यार he has shown character, he is doing well। भाई ईपीएल गोल्डन बूट कौन लेगा? हालैंड। और कौन लेगा भाई? 10 गोल ऑलरेडी हो चुके हैं भाई, 10 गोल पहुंचने में बाकियों को लग जाएंगे भाई, और कितना टाइम? ही इज ऑलरेडी ऑन 10। भाई मैं जर्सी नहीं लेता, मेरा ये सुपरस्टिशन है जर्मनी के साथ कि उनकी जर्सी में नहीं लेता, ठीक है? व्हेन इट कम्स टू जर्मनी, मैंने जर्सी आज तक उनके नहीं ली। No one cares what you feel, Luke. No one cares what you feel. 4 back-to-back outstanding performances. Simple. नहीं स्वानित भाई, मेरे हिसाब से तो नहीं। बिल्कुल भाई, कितने टाइम बाद खुश होने के मौके मिले हमें, कितने टाइम बाद हमें खुश होने का मौका मिला है भाई, क्यों ना खुश हो? एज अ यूनाइटेड फैन हम क्यों ना खुश हो? इतने टाइम बाद मौका मिला है। देवांग भाई सिंह माने वाज अ वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लेयर। बिल्कुल भाई, टॉप 4 में इनके लिए थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो सकता है इफ न्यूनियज इज नॉट फाइटिंग और सलाह इज नॉट फाइटिंग। चलो आगे वे देखते हैं। होपफुली एलिसन, होपफुली, यू नो, I don't expect Germany to win the World Cup this season, to be very this year, to be very honest. By the way, many things that Jose said has come true. Many things he has said is sheer arrogance. So, Sai Gaming, McTominay सुधर गया बिल्कुल। Happy with Ronaldo. I am happy with the attitude of Ronaldo. You know, more than performance, bhai, when you are such a legend of the game, your, you know, thinking can change. You know, your thinking can change the entire atmosphere of the club. So, you know, so that's the thing. Netherlands underdogs, नहीं भाई, underdogs भी नहीं बोलूंगा मैं नेदरलैंड्स को तो। I really want them to absolutely get battered. या लुई वैन हाल को भाई ग्रुप स्टेज में ही निकाल दो बाहर, अलग ही मजा आ जाएगा भाई। अरे भाई साउथगेट, this English team, if this English team would have been coached by someone like Wenger, na, Ankit bhai, you know, it would have been totally different. Marlin, he is, you know, homegrown, so he's not, you know, he can always come. It's not mandatory to put him in the squad. That's fine. Yes, this is what I wanted to see, Devang bhai. This is what I wanted to see. नेदरलैंड्स को निकालो, बिल्कुल निकालो भाई। द वे CR7 अपलोडेड, एग्जैक्टली मगवायर सबको पेल देगा भाई। ब्राजील का बहुत चांस है, अर्जेंटीना वुड बी देयर एज वेल। So Belgium, I think their golden generation is becoming too old. Anjul bhai. भाई वन वे मैनेजर था, वो वन वे मैनेजर था, और जिस तरीके से ही वांटेड साइनिंग्स इट वाज नेवर गोइंग टू वर्क. उसका फिलॉसफी का बिल्कुल ही अलग फिलॉसफी थी. जिस तरीके से हम खेलना चाहते हैं भाई, बिल्कुल ही नहीं. सो दैट्स द थिंग. इफ पॉटर, not too early to say, but the way Southgate plays, I don't think Potter would have done much worse, right? The way Southgate plays, तो भाई पॉटर इससे बुरा तो नहीं करता, इससे बुरा तो नहीं करता. Guys, if you are here for the first time, make sure you like, share and subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you are in the comment section and talk about football. So by UCL we should definitely try for. Ankit bhai, UCL is one thing we should definitely go out, go all out. But yes, we will prioritize the Premier League. 4 wins back to back. So बिल्कुल भाई. भाई वही है कि उसके पास जो वो है ना, डेप्थ नहीं है भाई. at this point of time he has started well, but वो कितनी देर तक इस चीज को रख पाएगा, we will see. We will see. Malin is saying Denmark. I have definitely put Denmark, as the underdogs. When it comes to Denmark, I will always put them as underdogs. But definitely top 4. Abhinav, definitely top 4. I told you guys after the preseason, after the transfer window ends, I will talk about it, and definitely top 4 for United. Garnacho. Looking forward to see Garnacho play low. Why was he given a new contract is beyond my imagination. मैं सोच नहीं पा रहा भाई. Exactly. तो वही बोल रहा हूँ ना कसम है कि at this point of time pressure नहीं है. Under pressure क्या करेगा वो देखने वाली बात है. Denmark will do a Croatia, hopefully. अंकित भाई देखो वही है ना कि well disciplined है, but for me personally speaking, France will be there, Argentina, Brazil and Portugal. These four in my opinion. Harsh bhai, welcome to the stream. Top 4 and 1 trophy says Harsh bhai. चलो भाई देखते हैं. उम्मीद तो कर ही सकते हैं भाई. साउथगेट ने भाई क्या किया? जस्ट बिकॉज ही हैज ब्रॉट द टीम टुगेदर, साउथगेट को बाप बना लिया है बेफालतू का. Absolutely, Sanjay bhai. We must win. Definitely, we have to. भाई देखो, ओले अपने डिमाइस का, he was the architect. When I say that Ole could have ended up winning something with United, the reason being, he was trying to get his own team. He was over there, but he never, had a plan B. He never tried the players who were on the fringes, kept on playing the same player who were absolutely bang average. Okay, मतलब थोड़ा सा तो team change करना था भाई when things are not working. He didn't have the balls at that point of time, and he promised so many things to so many players. It was never gonna work. Such a big squad, it was never gonna work. But I was definitely a bit worried. Abhinav bhai, he was basically wrestling with Jesus. वो wrestling कर रहा था Jesus के साथ in the penalty box. Could have easily been a penalty. Prashant bhai not consistent, but they have the players. Let's see. He was not going after Longstaff. Absolutely rubbish. Longstaff news was, I think it was Daily Mail or Daily Star. I think these two publications came with this news. He was not going for Longstaff. Absolutely rubbish. Yes, that's what I'm saying. He became too stubborn. That was his demise. French players, there is a reason they are French players. They will be playing the Europa League. When it comes to Maguire, Lindelof, Van Bissaka, Shaw, these guys will be playing in the Europa League. Simple as that. Fred will be there. You know, Garnacho most probably will get a chance. So अंकित भाई इसको लेगा नहीं ना कोई, इसको लेगा नहीं ना कोई. That's the thing. बिल्कुल फिटनेस का भाई, more than consistency भाई, you cannot afford an injury at this point of time. बिल्कुल भाई देखो मैकफ्रेड के अलावा ज्यादा ऑप्शन भी नहीं था, बट ठीक है, you know, he could have still tried to change it. But yeah, Shaw, Maguire, AWB तो भाई exactly. मैं तभी बोल रहा हूँ भाई, Portugal will be there in the mix. People who are thinking that Portugal won't be there, I think they might be in for a shock because Portugal will be there. Portugal बिल्कुल होगा भाई. You know, we have seen that in the 2016 Euros. You know, they came out of nowhere, they ended up winning it, so they can definitely do it. वो दोबारा कर सकते हैं, कर पाएंगे नहीं कर पाएंगे, that's a totally different thing, but they can definitely do it. So वही है भाई, इनका भी मैनेजर का प्रॉब्लम है, सैंटोस है. You know, the attacking talent that they have, the attacking talent that Portugal have, क्या ही बोल सकते हैं भाई, मैनेजर ही इतना ऐसा है. तो सही है, definitely Sociedad is a good team, but we can definitely win the game. भाई आग लगा देगा बंदा उस स्क्वाड के साथ. How many games have you seen Fred play under ETH? How are you going to judge a player's improvement when he has not played at all? Look at what Fred did in the last 10 minutes yesterday. You know, winning the balls, going for tackles, passes, the runs. Let them give game time. I don't think they are individual brilliance team. बिल्कुल नहीं भाई, ये individual brilliance वाला भाई बिल्कुल नहीं मानता मैं. You know, when you look at the squad that they have, the likes of, you know, Gonzalo Guedes, Neto, Neves, Moutinho, Bernardo Silva, Bruno, Ronaldo, Ruben Diaz, Cancelo, Rafael Guerrero. If you think this is individual brilliance, this is outright one of the favorite teams to lift the World Cup. Exactly. Just 6 games. You are talking about improvement even without seeing the player play. By देखो, whoever will show the urge to fight, the desire to fight, we will love those players. You know, even after we conceded a goal yesterday, it was not like they put their head down in shame and they were like, okay, the game is done. No, they didn't do it. They came back, they scored 2 more goals. By Casemiro will be plan A, McTominay and Fred will be plan B. But as eriktenhag said, he wants Casemiro to get into his system the way he wants to play, and then he will talk about other things, you know. Exactly. For tomorrow, Donny is there in the squad as well. So I still feel that tomorrow Donny might start. If he's not starting, that's totally fine. भाई देखो वही है, total depth है, but you know, when it comes to defense, the depth is just on the paper, आशीष भाई. When it comes to defense, हमारा depth सिर्फ पेपर पे है. मार्टिनेज और वरान में से एक भी इंजर्ड हुआ तो we are going to struggle. Ankit bhai, you can definitely do that. I never take the table seriously till it's at least 30-32 games, Allison. You know, at least it's 30-32 games. I'm never gonna take the table seriously. You know, when Rangnick was there, when we won against West Ham, you know, and got into top 4, you know, that Rashford goal, everyone thought, oh, easy top 4. You know, so, and after that, everything started to go out of the way. So, all right, guys, most probably, guys, keep the notification on. I will try to come in the afternoon, or not, if not in the afternoon, because that night there is game. So I will most probably be there at 2 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon. We will see each other. We will talk about the Champions League as well as the Europa League. So, भाई देखो थोड़ा रिस्की तो है. It's risky, Rohan bhai. You know, it's risky. but we have to take that risk. Yeah, unfortunately, is not there. Unfortunately, is not there. He has played CDM alone his entire life. His entire life. So, all right, guys. See you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we will talk about Europa League. We will talk about Champions League as well. अंकित भाई कल का वॉच अलॉन्ग नहीं कर रहा मैं अपना गेम ही करूंगा यूरोपा लीग ही करूंगा और यू नो आई माइट गो फॉर बायर्न म्यूनिख इंटर बट देखता हूँ थोड़ा काम वगैरह का जिस हिसाब से रहेगा उस हिसाब से एग्जैक्टली फर्स्ट गेम ऑफ द ग्रुप वी कैन डेफिनेटली टेक अ रिस्क Thanks a lot, Luke. Guys, stay safe. Have a great Monday night. Almost midnight out here, so stay safe. See you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Indian Standard Time. And hopefully, we will have a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, the transfer window is gone. So, Prasai bhai, thanks a lot for joining in. Whoever joined, thanks a lot, guys. And see you tomorrow. Good night, guys. Stay safe.